You sit down at your computer this morning. You need to extract a dataset from a massive system. You don't sift through physical files, you just write a query. You filter the exact dates using a between operator, or run a precise subquery to extract the standard set of records you need. You hit execute. In milliseconds, a server thousands of miles away processes millions of rows and returns exactly what you asked for. Information processing is so effortless now that it's basically invisible. But 100,000 years ago, the only hard drive on Earth was entirely biological. It existed solely inside the human brain. If you wanted to transfer data, you had to move a physical human body. If an elder in your tribe knew which plants would heal an infection, or the precise timing of the animal migrations, that information had to be spoken out loud. If they died before passing it on, that file wasn't just corrupted, it was permanently deleted. There were no backups. The sum total of human knowledge was always one accident away from a total system wipe. For almost all of human history, information was bound by the lifespan of a human and the speed of human feet. Until about 5,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, someone took a reed and pressed wedge shapes into wet clay. Think about that for a second. That was the invention of external storage. For the first time in history, a thought could outlive the person who thought it. You didn't have to be in the exact same location as someone to know what they knew. But there was a problem. It was heavy. A clay tablet held maybe a few paragraphs and weighed a pound. You couldn't move it fast. Information was safe, but it was incredibly slow. We needed to scale, so we invented papyrus, then parchment, then paper. We built libraries, the first data centers. But copying a book took a monk an entire year by hand. Then, in the 1440s, Johannes Gutenberg figured out the printing press. Suddenly, one file could be copied thousands of times. Knowledge wasn't just for kings and priests anymore. It exploded across continents. But the core problem was still there. Information was still tied to a physical object. To send a message, you still had to put a book, a letter, or a human on a horse or a ship. In the 1840s, we finally broke that rule. The telegraph. We figured out how to strip words down to dots and dashes, the ancestors of binary code, and push them through a wire using electricity. For the first time ever, information traveled completely untethered from a physical object. It moved faster than a human could run, faster than a horse could gallop. It traveled at the speed of light. But as data moved faster, a new nightmare began. The sheer volume of it. Having a million files means absolutely nothing if you can't find what you need. In the 1970s, humans invented the relational database. We stopped throwing data into chaotic piles. We structured it into tables, established relationships, and created standard languages to query it. We built systems that could cross-reference billions of data points logically, without breaking a sweat. We brought order to the chaos. So here's the full picture. For 300,000 years, memory was fragile. Our ancestors memorized the stars and weather patterns just to survive the winter. They fought desperately to pass on a single spark of knowledge. Today, you pull a piece of glass and metal from your pocket. It connects to global server farms, holding the sum total of everything humanity has ever learned. We solved the problem of forgetting so completely that we forgot what it means to lose our history. Our biggest problem now isn't losing data, it's filtering out the noise. Every database, every fiber optic cable, every subquery you run exists because thousands of years ago, someone pressed a stick into clay so they wouldn't forget. They refused to let their thoughts die with them. And that is the most human thing there is.